I'm your host, Joe, and this is just a segue between what was yesterday's episode and the upcoming episode that's going to be on Friday. So, I do like to sprinkle these short videos in every now and then that just showcase a lot of the quality of life aspects that is normally not seen on camera. So, these are the nuts and bolts of the operation that get us from point A to point B, and get us all working toward our goal. Now, as we did mention, Friday we are going to be tackling Salem, which is definitely one of the hardest areas in this entire region. So, there's a few things we want to do for preparation. First of all, we definitely want to switch out our partner. So let's head back and go grab Codsworth for this one. Codsworth definitely seems like a bit of an odd choice for this mission, but I want to start working him up just to get his companion perk and get him out of the picture. So let's go ahead, and he's usually flying around our house somewhere if you don't see him. And let's see, I think ours was the yellow one, just beside it. Preparation is everything, especially when you have really big dungeon crawls coming up. And Salem is no joke. We are going to get the secret weapon Reba 2, I believe it's called, which is a super powerful weapon that we can utilize going forward. Now, usually we can hear Codsworth by now, and it's kind of odd that we haven't seen him.
Do I look like I want to chit-chat?
I would never mistake you for someone who likes to chit-chat. Don't you worry about that. Yeah, this is why in your settlement, sometimes it's good to just put a bell, because that way you can literally draw everyone to one area. I think we're going to have to do that, because I am not seeing him anywhere. So, let's go over to miscellaneous. And I believe this is where it's hidden at. Let's go ahead and make... Well, we hope that's where it was. But they duped us again. And now I'm not entirely sure. Let's go here. Is it our miscellaneous? Here. Well, there was the doghouse we were looking for. We definitely need to set that up at Coastal Cottage. Jukebox, meat bags. Everything except for our bell. You know, Codsworth, you could just fly by and make this so much easier for all of us. You know, this is the joys of doing anything live. There we are. Sheesh, buddy, I don't even know why you're hiding in this house. It has nothing to do with you.
Mr. Joe, welcome back, sir. I do hope you were able to find some assistance in Concord.
Yeah, I met some new friends. They tried to kill us.
Can't have enough of those these
Nothing
days.
out of the ordinary.
I realize that I'm Mr. Gutsy, but if needed, I'd be honored to accompany you throughout the Commonwealth. Just say the word.
Okay, word.
Yes, of course.
Right behind you, sir.
Hey, Codsworth. Take over keeping an eye on him for me?
I live to serve.
He also apparently is invisible. So let's go ahead and again just keep everyone at Sanctuary out of the way. And we are going to go ahead, as soon as Preston figures out what the heck he's doing, and head over. We want to now start looking for vendors to help build up Coastal Cottage. And usually they will come right here to the center of town. There's not one here, so let's hop over to Abernathy. Because if you remember in the previous live stream that we did on this with Settlement Building, we are working on building ourselves a Adhesive Farm here. We have plenty of potatoes, but now let's go ahead and see if we can do anything with the meat fruit we got. Because it's considered wild, I'm not sure if it'll work. Let's see. We've also got corn, thank goodness. So let's store it. And I know I saw that we got mute fruit of some kind. I think it is wild. Yep, so I don't know that we can do anything with it. Let's see. Cross our fingers as we go ahead here and see if we can finally plant these that we got in our last mission, because that way we can be well on our way to having our Adhesive Farm. And corn, thank goodness. So we do have the corn. The big question mark is the mute fruit, and it does not look like the wild mute fruit counts. So, doesn't help our situation much. So unfortunately, we cannot do much else with that. Now what I do want to do is go to where we just were with Sanctuary and see if we have an extra person that we can run a supply line to Coastal Cottage for, just to connect these two. Again, it must be an unnamed character. It cannot be someone with a name. So like Marcy Long, you can't. Sturgis, you can't. They can be assigned to local things. They cannot be assigned to major tasks. And here's a vendor, possibly.
You know what I call a good day?
Nope. That is the person that's already running our supply lines. So they do have the name provisioner, and we cannot do anything with them from there. So they're either running the supply line to Abernathy, or they're running it to... Actually, wait a second. Can I switch the supply line? There's the million-dollar question. You know, I've never actually tried it before, because I usually just get new people. Let's see. Supply line. Coastal Cottage. Alright, it looks like it went through. Let's double check it here. So again, go on your maps and go to Show Supply Lines. And yes, I think we did. Let's head over there and try it. So again, once you have the supply line set up, you're able to use the inventory from what it's connected to. So this now should have the inventory of Sanctuary. Let's make sure we can actually see what we're doing. And just like that, we're about to figure it out. So let's go into our workshop and see if we can build anything, because again, we do not have supplies at Coastal Cottage. Not much at all. So let's try and build any of our stations, actually. So resources, miscellaneous. Let's see if we can... There was our stupid bell, and yes, look at that. Wood, 2,419, steel, 1,040. Yep, it officially connected. So, thank goodness. Let's go ahead and see if we can put down some sort of bench to get ourselves either the weapons bench or armor bench, so we can actually repair our own stuff here. Water supply, we can finally do us a pump, it looks like. That one you need an actual water source for, and this one we need the science perk, so this is the best we can do with what we have. And let's set it where it's not going to be noisy and in our ears. So somewhere up on the cliff side that works, because it's not like we have to actually go and touch it. Actually, it's perfectly fine if it just kind of floats through reality there. Let's just make sure that the legs make sense, just like that. And of course, it found a way to not make sense, even when we're trying to build it on a hill, because that bottom won't go in. There we go. Perfect. Alright, need some kind of generator to actually run it. So, let's see about getting a generator source up top here. Generators are notoriously loud, so we want to make sure that is far away from where we're sleeping. And let's go ahead, power generators, biggest one we can at the moment. Again, you need the science perk for any of those really big things. And since we're on a mountaintop, you might as well make a windmill. It is aesthetically perfect for the situation. Even though we are somehow falling off the rock wall with it. This is such a tricky area to build in, but it's beautiful once you have it set up. So there we go, windmill. Let's string it to our water pump, and just like that, we should have water flowing in no time. And now our coastal cottage actually has a windmill. Something for aesthetics. Now, defense, we do get a lot of enemies roaming around through here. We definitely want to start setting up turrets soon. But one thing I'm more interested in is having a clearer way of knowing that we're actually home. So let's see about building some sort of stairs here at our cottage. Now we can go the traditional route with the wooden stairs, the laddery type of stairs, but none of those really make sense. This is a very tough area to build them on, but very rewarding once you have a game plan here. So we need to just mount them somewhere that we can get started, because once you get one started, you can string them together. Just like that. Nope, they are wanting to be stubborn. So you go away, and we will try it a different way. So under metal prefabs, let's see if we have one that can mirror our point a little bit better. Might just be our concrete, I have a feeling, is how we're going to have to do this. And of course, the problem with using anything concrete is very hard to come by. You almost have to rely on your vendors. So in the meantime, let's go ahead and leave the windmill there. And let's start finally finding a way to patch up this obnoxiously large hole in the middle of the settlement. And again, this is what we're going to need the concrete for, so we can actually make the flooring to go over this. This is basically what's going to set our location for our actual building that we're going to make. As you can see here, we really just have to kind of muscle it in, because once you have one, you can snap the other tiles to it, and that way we can cover up that obnoxious hole that's literally just in the middle of the settlement. And we can build over top of it. That way you don't have players that end up getting lost and trapped down here and can't get out, and we can end up making a high rise right there. So the area is finally starting to come along. Let's go ahead and make sure we've got our weapons at the ready, since we are going to be tackling Salem next. So let's go ahead, head back to Sanctuary. And by the way, if you weren't sure how to get rid of the custom markers, just click anywhere on the map and you can hit remove marker. Now back over to Sanctuary. Let's go ahead, now that we have our full inventory here, and let's upgrade the weapons that we do care about. Now this one, the only problem I have with the Focused Fire Institute pistol, as overpowered and amazing as it is we really need to get this zoom scope off of it. I can't tell you the amount of times that I have literally just been outmaneuvered because I end up zooming in like it's a sniper rifle. It's literally a pistol. So as you can see there, it's literally set to short scope. Let's just do reflex sight, so it's easier. At this point, anything else we can upgrade is only going to make it better. I mean, we'll give it Enclave paint just because we can. And grip full stock, that just increases its accuracy. So just like that, that is much better. Let's go ahead. Missile launcher, I don't think we can do anything because you're going to have the higher perks. I mean, we can put a bayonet on there, but if we're literally having to stab something with our missile launcher, there's something wrong. Yeah, maybe it's a good idea, actually. I mean, it doesn't take that many resources, but I think we can do better. So let's see over here. We have Night vision calibrated powerful pipe revolver. Now, I think this was the one we got in our steamer trunk, and I'm not really sure if we can turn this thing into a sniper rifle or not. It's trying to act like one, but definitely doesn't look right, because it's basically a modified pipe pistol that was turned somehow into a sniper rifle. I believe you can take mods off, but I forget how to actually do it. And that would be very important if we could. But for now, I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole. So here is our actual rifle, and this is what we need to turn into a sniper rifle. So, let's check the sights, give it medium scope. That is perfect. And at that point, we can go ahead and change it out for a short light barrel. Okay, it's better than nothing. Tuned receiver, standard magazine. As you can see, we ran out of things with the screws. Is a problem we ran into. Now, do I want a bayonet on the sniper rifle? Probably, because if you are trying to snipe something and it gets too close, that makes sense. If you're using a missile launcher and it gets too close, you're going to blow yourself up. At least with the sniper rifle, you can fire back. That gets the bayonet. And it absolutely looks ridiculous right now without the long body, but we're getting there. Now the syringer, we don't have anything to upgrade it except for glow sights. And any sights is better than not having anything. At this point, I think we have our weapon lineup, so let's throw everything else in here so we're not wasting ammo with it. As you can see here, there's our focus. Because it has the fire and can set the enemies on fire, it's going to do better than that one. We just don't have any way to use the syringer rifle right now. We just don't have any syringes made for it. And that is just an absolute abomination of existence. So, sorry. That was outmatched ages ago. At this point, nobody cares about the switchblade. Except for people that run around using knives. It's a unique challenge, I guess. So, let's go ahead and see what we've actually got to work with. Let's also scrap or put away all of our armor that we're not currently wearing. So that is something we need to figure out, because as we see here, when we switched to the army fatigues that we got from Gladys, it actually helped us quite a bit. Because as you can see here, the army fatigues actually increases your strength and agility both. So you definitely want that on. The army helmet is giving us damage resistance, but not much else. However, there is a military cap that can increase our perception by not giving us resistance. So look at the bottom right, we've got 23 damage resistance, 46 energy resistance. If we do that, it drops us to 13. That's a pretty big price to pay for 1 point of perception. So I don't think we're ready to toss away the army helmet just yet. Now, as for the actual equipment pieces, make sure we've got all of our limbs, we've got our left arm, and we've got all the pocketed versions of the rest of it, chest, left, right, right. However, we did get a legendary chest. As you can see here, it's not actually any better. And the question is, can we make it better? If we go here, and yes, we can, to some degree. So we can up that, and we can also make it pocketed, again, to increase our storage capabilities. Now, as you can see here, the champion arm we can't really do anything with. It's pocketed, which is perfect. Again, that just adds to your storage capacity of how much you can hold. That one's good. All those are already pocketed, and we cannot go past girded leather, apparently. We just don't have the stuff. Oh, that's what it is. We have to have the armor perk to go any higher. So that is literally all we can do with that. Let's make sure, under apparel, that we have it equipped, because as you can see now, the damage resistance is higher since we upgraded it. Let's throw it on. So now our damage resistance 26 and energy 39. We're not going to be dealing with energy enemies here. We're just going to be dealing with Mirelurks. So let's go ahead and make sure the rest of this stuff is put away. If it's not equipped, it has no place here. And of course, if you have anything that you have doubles of, like the fatigues. As you can see, that knocked our weight all the way down to 149. Only thing left to do is to make sure we've got all of our quick changes set up. So, Focus Fiery Institute Pistol. That's going to be right beside the regular pistol. Let's actually equip the frag grenades so we have them at the ready. Missile launcher's going to go up top, since it's basically our big explosive weapon. Shotgun to the left. Actual pistol, which is basically our last-ditch effort, down there. And actually, I am also going to switch up the missile launcher, put it over there. And the reason I'm doing that is we need a quick way to get to our stim packs to quickly heal. So let's throw that right there. Let's also put Radaway up there so we can get ourselves out of any trouble. And when it comes to actual chems, Psycho, absolute must, and Med-X is the other must. So that way we have a way to half the damage that's done to us and double the damage output we give. As you can see, there's one slot missing. That's going to go to our pistol right there. At this point, we are set up and ready to go back to the waste and ready to take on good old Salem. So, hopefully this was insightful and gives you an idea of what actually goes on behind the scenes between episodes. Because, of course, when the episode starts, I just give a rundown of the basics that happened while we were away. As you can see here, we are literally ready to head right back into it as soon as the next episode starts. So, hopefully this was helpful for people. Again, we forgot our actual rifle. There it is. And get ready, because Friday's episode is going to be absolutely nutty, as we have a whole lot of Mirelurks to clear out, and it is going to be literally one of the toughest challenges we've taken on so far. So again, thanks for joining. Please make sure to like and comment on the video so more people can see it, and we will see you next time. Take care, everyone.